Can I take it
Yes, yes, yes.
from the weekly, from the current week?
So I didn't hear that question clearly. Repeat it again, please.
Saying from the current week,
Yes.
let's say this week, if I see a setup that is good, can I take the trade?
Yes, you can take the trade so far as, for example, let me show you the example now. Let's say, for
Okay,
example, using the example I showed you guys yesterday on Zoom, I
okay,
told you guys that if we have a cell alignment, so this is a right now I'm trying to use the calendar, isn't it? So that you
okay.
can understand. Now, using the calendar method, it means that the monthly equilibrium line, let's say the monthly equilibrium line is above here, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And you can see where the weekly equilibrium line is right now. This is where it is below, isn't it?
yes,
Our green line, which is this. Our green line is below. But right now, we are not going to mark it yet.
okay,
So remember, I told you guys that we usually mark it at the back of our mind, isn't it?
yes,
Because we don't know where it is going to be exactly on Monday. So, but we should be able to know roughly if it is a buy alignment or if it is a sell alignment. So
okay,
if market is playing like this in the chart on the charts, shouldn't we, and this is where the current price is, shouldn't we be able to tell that the blue line is far above here and current market price is currently here, and the period separator, remember we have the period separator here and the period
yes,
separator here, isn't it? Which
yes, sir.
separates the day. So you can clearly see that the market is about to close. It remains small for the market to close. There's a very small gap between the current market price and the period separator,
Mhm.
isn't it? Which means that
Yes, sir.
market is about to close. Remain just few hours for market to close, or maybe few minutes for market to close. So what is that going to be telling us? That is going to be telling us that, hey, even though market has not yet closed, but at least I know that remain few hours for market to close. The few hours remaining for market to close, market is still around here. Market cannot suddenly change from a sell alignment into a buy alignment. It is not possible. You understand?
Yes, sir.
We cannot suddenly have a bullish candlestick that rally up massively around the area and change the alignment into a buy alignment. It is not possible. You understand?
Mm.
It's not
Yes,
possible.
sir.
So what is that telling us? That is telling us that automatically, even though we don't know where market is going to open on the period separator on Monday, what we know, however, is that the blue line is far above and the green line is below, right? Which means it is going to automatically be a sell trade alignment, right?
Okay.
So after confirming that it is a sell trade alignment, then we switch to the D1 time frame. When we switch to the D1 time frame, now remember which type of candlestick are we looking at?
We are looking for a cell candlestick, a
We
rectangle one.
we are looking for a bearish candlestick, isn't it?
Yes,
And
yes,
that bearish candlestick, we don't look at just anyhow bearish candlestick. We usually look at
yes,
a rectangle bearish candle because
yes,
a bearish rectangle candle that looks like a candlestick that looks like a rectangle in shape, it means that that candle, for example, this is a bearish candle now. You can see that this candlestick looks like square in shape. Look at it.
yes.
From here, you can see it looks like square in shape. Not square rather, sorry. I mean rectangle.
Rectangle.
Looks like rectangle in shape, right?
Yes, sir.
But what about this candle here now? Look at this one. You see this one here looks like square, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Which means whenever you see this type of candle, don't it is not good. It means there is no imbalance in this type of market. No imbalance. And we don't want to be trading in a market whereby there is no imbalance. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Because it means if there is no imbalance, it means that the buyers and sellers here are equal. It means we have, let's say, it means on this candlestick, it means we have 100 buyer stroke 100 seller. You understand? There's no imbalance in this type of market, which means this is the type of candle that we should be able to see. A rectangle, a square, a candlestick that looks like square. There is no imbalance in this type of candle. But in this type of candle whereby you see that the candlestick looks like a rectangle, it is
Yeah.
a very good candle, which we can see imbalance on the candle. It means we have more imbalance of sellers than buyers on this candle. Do you understand? We have
Yes, sir.
balance of sellers than buyers on the candle. So now let's say, going back to your question, to answer your question. Now your
Okay.
question says that should you be taking trades on some days? Okay, let me just give you an idea first before answering your question. Now look at it. You see that we are in a sell alignment, right? We are in a sell alignment. Now on that sell alignment that we are, let's say we are currently on Friday. We are on Friday. So on that Friday, we see that we have what we call the bullish candle. On Friday,
Yes.
what we have is a bullish candle. On Thursday, what we have is a bearish candle. But the bearish candlestick we can see on Thursday does not look good. You understand? It looks like a square. So we ignore it.
Yes.
And then we saw another bullish candle that looks like that looks like a rectangle. So remember on Friday we saw a bullish candle. On Thursday we saw a bearish candle in a sell alignment. However, the reason why we are not focusing on this bearish candle is because the candlestick does not look good. It looks like a square. So we look at the
Yes.
next day. The next day, which is Wednesday. Wednesday is also having a bullish candle. So we ignore Wednesday. We look at what is previous to Wednesday, which is on Tuesday. So on Tuesday,
Yeah.
we have a candlestick that looks like a rectangle. You
Yeah.
understand? We have a
Yes, sir.
bearish candlestick that looks like rectangle. Now, do you know what to do? What to do is that what you need to do is you need to mark out the let's say the candlestick also has wicks. Let's say this bearish candlestick also has its wicks.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Now, on this candle, remember I told you guys that this is the supply of the candle, isn't it? That
Yes.
area is the supply of the candle. So what do you have to do? Remember I told you guys you need to highlight the area with your proximal line, distal line,
Yes.
roughly highlight the area. So when
Yes.
you highlight the zone, let's say the zone is, you have your yellow zone. Remember that yellow zone that we usually mark on a lower time frame, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
let's
sir.
say this is what I'm marking now. Let's say this is the yellow zone now, the one I'm highlighting now, okay?
Okay.
So if this is the yellow zone, it means that the only valid area to take a trade is to take it on Tuesday, right? Is to take it on Tuesday. But
Yes.
remember, we didn't see this analysis on Tuesday. We waited towards the ending of the week before we go back and see what is happening on Tuesday, because we can
Okay.
see that Friday is not looking good, Thursday is not looking good, Wednesday is not looking good, and then before market price, and then we can see market price approaching a level. Hold on. And then we can see a bullish candlestick on Friday moving up. Why is this bullish candlestick moving up? When we look far into the left, we can see that there's a bearish candlestick supporting this analysis as a supply. So this bullish candlestick on Friday is trying to go into the supply of that bearish candle, which is on Tuesday. So it means that towards the ending of Friday, we were able to see what happened on Tuesday, even though we didn't do the analysis on Tuesday. You can see this analysis, we didn't do it on Tuesday. We are currently
Yes.
on Friday, but we went all the way back to what has happened previously in the on the chart. You understand? That is
Yeah.
scenario. So did that answer your question, or maybe I need to answer it in a more proper manner, or is that your question?
It was my question, but I think maybe what I wanted to say is before we even get to Friday, let's say it's
Okay.
let's say it's
Let's say before we
Thursday.
get into Friday, let's say before we get into Friday, and you
Yes.
see a good bearish candle, is that your question?
Yes.
We see a very good bearish candlestick on Tuesday, for example.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
seeing a very good candlestick on Tuesday, the market on Wednesday has not yet happened. The market on Thursday
Yes.
has not yet happened. The market on Friday has not yet happened, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, you won't be taking any trade on this Tuesday. You won't take any trade on Tuesday because
Okay.
right now you are trying to analyze Tuesday to know what is going to happen next week. Is that your question?
Yes.
You are trying to analyze Tuesday to know what is going to happen next week of what, which is on the 21, right?
Okay.
Because right now we are on 15. This is the previous week, and this is going to be a new week.
Okay.
No, not okay. Remember, this week is a previous week. This
This
one.
is a
And this one here is a new week. So it means you are trying to analyze the previous week to know what is going to happen in a new week. Is that it?
yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. Now, based on this question, which is a very good question, you shouldn't be taking any trade here yet. You shouldn't be taking any trade here yet because
Okay.
that has not confirmed that that is the supply area, because you might have a market whereby on Wednesday might give you a bullish candle. Wednesday might give you a bullish candle, right? And then you might have another bearish candle on. You might have another bullish candlestick on Thursday. You might have another bullish candlestick on Thursday. Huh?
Yes, sir.
And then you might suddenly see a bearish candlestick on Friday. You might suddenly see a bearish candlestick on Friday. So you can see the bearish candlestick we saw on Friday has invalidated that Tuesday's bearish.
Oh, okay.
So we wait before we analyze. We wait. We use logic to wait. You understand?
Okay, sir.
Because this one here is very early. It is too early. It is too early. It is too early. You understand? It is too early.
Yes, sir.
So you have to wait. You have to wait it out. You have to wait it out before you can take it. You have to wait it out. And waiting it out means that you have to confirm if there is no present candle that is going to give us what we are looking for. You understand? Because you can see right now,
Yes.
the candle on Friday has given us what we are looking for. Yes or no?
It has, yes.
It has given us what we are looking for in the sense that this is a bearish candle with a good body, with a good rectangular
Yes.
body. So it means we need to mark out the supply of the candle. We need to mark out the supply of the candle, which means we are waiting for price to come back on the previous week, or on the new week rather, which is Monday or Tuesday, and then we are expecting market price to drop, isn't it?
Yes, sir. True.
The only time we can focus on Tuesday, do you know what? Do you know the only time you can focus on Tuesday? The only time you can focus on the bearish candle on Tuesday is if, and it is only if the candle on Friday is also a bullish candle. You understand? It's also a bullish.
Okay.
That is the only time you can focus on Tuesday. And even if the candlestick on Friday is a bullish candle, but the candlestick is a bullish candle towards the beginning of the session on Friday, you cannot make that decision yet. Before you can make the decision whether the candlestick is a bullish candle or not, you have to wait towards the ending session of Friday, or even if it is the beginning of Friday, if you see that the candlestick is giving us a very long bullish. Now, this bullish candlestick, even though it is the beginning of the Friday session, it can no longer, this candlestick can no longer turn into bearish suddenly. You understand?
Yes.
Can no longer turn into bearish suddenly. Before it can turn into bearish, it is going to be maybe a massive news that come into this candle. You understand?
Yes,
So
sir.
it cannot just suddenly change into a bearish. So what is this telling us? This is telling us that it means that this candle, even though it is the beginning of the session on Friday, because remember, this is the period separator of Friday, isn't it?
Yes.
So even though it is the beginning session of Friday, this bullish candlestick we saw, it means it is trying to approach the supply area we have here, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So which means we have the chance to take the zone on this before it trigger. Because if you are waiting for it, after seeing a massive bullish candlestick on Friday, if you are waiting for it, the candlestick is going to trigger into the zone. And when it's triggered into the zone, it means this is what you should see. You can see it as trigger now, right?
Yes.
Because the bullish candlestick has went into the supply zone of the bearish, and it has triggered the candle. It has triggered the candle. And after this bullish candlestick has triggered the candle, what we should see next is what? If the bullish candlestick closed here. This is where the bullish candlestick closed. It's closed here, isn't it?
Yes.
When the bullish candlestick closed there, what do you think is going to happen? What happened next is this. Let me redo it again. So let's say this is the supply area of the candle. The next thing we are going to see after this bullish candlestick has closed is we are going to see a bearish candlestick that open next. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And the bearish candlestick is going to be developing gradually. The bearish candlestick, you can see right now, the trade has already triggered on Friday, isn't it?
Yes.
Even though it has triggered on Friday, it is still the previous week supply. It is still going to be the previous week supply because market is going to be coming down like this into the new week. You understand? Market is going to be, so you can see generally when market was coming down, you can see generally this is the supply of this week.
Okay.
Do you understand my explanation?
Yes. Yes, I do.
So I hope that did I answer your question at all? Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay,
Thank you.
please. If you have any more question, please always feel free to ask me on Telegram and so on. All right. There are some questions
Okay,
that
sir.
you might ask that I might not be able to, even though I might understand your question on Telegram, I might not be able to explain it through text like that. You understand? There are some things you can't express through text. So even if
Yes.
you cannot express some things through text, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try your best to ask it in the way you understand it. Just ask, and if I'm not able to understand answer your question on text, then I'm going to recommend answering your question on Zoom. You understand? On Zoom. You can see this explanation I just made here now. I cannot do it via the text. You understand?
Yes, sir.
It's needed a visual representation and so on. All right, so I think that is it. Okay, that is it. Do you have any other question before? Because remember, this class is not for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question? Any other question?
No, no, not at the moment.
All right. So go back and watch all those videos from module 1 to module 14. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
that is it. The most important one is module 11, but you must watch all those modules from 1 to 14. They are all important as well. They are all important. So, anyways, that is it. Make sure you
Okay.
practice, and then send in your results before and after. Even if your result doesn't make sense, maybe you are doing analysis and you hit stop loss, send screenshot of your before and after, and then I'm going to show you whether you are making a mistake or not. You understand? Then you are going to get some corrections on the mistake you are making, and then that is how to perfect your analysis if you are sending me your result and so on and ask
Okay.
questions. So good night.
Good night, sir.
All right. Good evening, Madam Philomena. Good evening, ma. Hello, Madam Philomena. Good evening.
I think she needs to unmute herself.
Madam Philomena, unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, all right. Good evening. Good evening. All right, let's start now. Let's start. I think we can start afresh with, since you guys are both going to be needing the refresher. All right, let's get
Yes,
started.
sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Can I ask?
Yes, yes, yes.
It's about how I can get. I don't have any
It is about the what?
the modules. Those module one
Okay,
to
okay, okay.
two.
After
I
we are
don't
done
have.
with this Zoom, if you are not on the video group, when we are done with this Zoom, then I'm going to add you there. All right.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's move on now. In professional course, Madam Philomena, I hope you've watched the video the video on module one on what buy formation is and what is sell trade formation is. Have you done that?
On that one, I've not really watched that much. It's
No,
just
no,
that
you need
first
to
one I
watch. You need
snapped
to watch
to.
them. You need to watch them. At least you need to watch the
Okay,
video from module one to at least module nine. Module nine.
okay, okay.
You need to do that. It is very important. That's because I want, before I have a Zoom with anybody, I like, because before I like doing everything from step one to finish on
Yeah,
Zoom, and that is very stressful, you understand? But that is the reason
okay.
why I recorded plenty videos, so that I reduce the stress on myself after the person has already watched the video and understand some things. After the person has understand some few things on the video, then whatever I'm going to be explaining through Zoom is going to be a lot more easier for the person to be able to understand it a little bit, since the person has already watched the video on the group, you understand?
Yes,
But
sir.
without watching the video on the group, you won't be able to have any idea of what I'm talking about, and I might be struggling to explain things to you, and so on and so forth, you understand? So I thought you've watched the video. That's why I said we should have class today. But anyways,
Yeah,
let's move on. Let's move on. So now let's
okay, sir.
go to the first thing we usually do in the professional course. In the professional course, or let me say, as an order flow trader, as an order flow trader, you need to understand what formation is. We have
Yeah,
we have buy formation, we have sell formation, we have sell formation. So